A lot of people are concerned about what Pierre Poilievre's government might do, and if you look at the polls right now, they're kind of dominating, so let's talk about this. Specifically, let's talk about whether or not him dominating in the polls is a good thing or a bad thing in regards to people's fears. Because I think you can make the case either way. Imagine a scenario where the Conservatives have a very thin majority in the House of Commons. They only have a majority by 1 to 7 seats, okay? Think about it like the US is right now in their House. Have you seen the chaos that the few MAGA Republicans have been causing? When you have a thin majority like that, if a few people decide to break apart from the party and make certain demands, the party might have to cave to its worst instincts. I'm a fan of minority governments, regardless of who is in power. But in the case of a minority with a party that you are concerned about in terms of their most extreme sides, if they have a very slim majority, that means that few handful of people could completely pull the party to the right and completely change things. On the other side, if Pierre wins with a dominant majority of over 200 seats, that might embolden Pierre and the party to think that their hateful rhetoric is going to benefit them, and that they might have to enact harmful policies in order to continue their success. Alternatively, if the Conservatives have a very slim majority, they might want to hold on to power at all costs, and Pierre would probably be able to whip most of his party into line. And Pierre takes most of his cues from Harper. Remember, when Harper was in power, yeah, it was pretty bad for the environment, but outside of that, for social causes, Harper didn't really target too many of those because he knew that it was a losing battle with Canadians. And even if Pierre has a massive majority, he's going to want to maintain that majority. He's going to want to be prime minister for as long as possible. And attacking minority communities, specifically the LGBTQ community or abortion rights or anything like that, would be a very quick ticket to him at the bare minimum losing his majority, if not completely losing the next election. I'm not trying to defend Pierre here in any way. I don't know what he will or won't do, but I think it's also very important that we don't fill ourselves with too much anxiety over a future that we are unsure of at the moment. I get why people are concerned, and I think their concern is justified. But remember, at the end of the day, these parties want to stay in power. Look at Doug. Every single time the province has risen up and almost gone on a general strike, or there's been a massive backlash over stuff like the Greenbelt, he has done a complete 180 and completely changed his stance on things. That is still you using your democratic voice. Maybe the party that's in charge is not the party that you want, but when we speak up and when we stand up, they listen. So even if this scenario terrifies you, make sure you keep having your voice heard.